Get up, you're asleep at the wheel. I'm Josh Wheel, and this something a little new. I'm gonna try to mix up and do something a little bit different here. Normally I do the written recaps, video reviews, but we're gonna do a video recap. Try to break into the 21st century, use a little bit of the technology here, and also something a little more long form, a little longer than a typical issue would be. We're gonna go through and go over the origin story of their Nuevo Mutantes, the New Mutants from Marvel graphic novel number 4. And here we go, Marvel graphic novel number 4, the first appearance of the New Mutants. Written by Chris Claremont, art by Bob McLeod, letter by Tom Warzakowski, colors by Glynis Wein, edited by Louise Jones, Nays Simonson, and the EIC at the time was Shooter. So, titled Renewal. It opens with Moira McTaggart in the Scottish Highlands when a giant werewolf jumps over her. And, we're told that it's actually a 14-year-old girl and she's naked. So, yeah, I'm not totally comfortable with them opening a comic with a naked 14-year-old girl, but that's just me. Immediately following naked 14-year-old werewolf girl is douchebag extraordinaire Reverend Craig, and coming to rescue her with shotguns and flaming torches and a holy Bible. Moira ain't having none of that, and she is an important lady. The Kinrosses, her family were lords, so she's Lady Kinross of these lands, and that name means enough that she can send them back and keep reign. Obviously this is Rain's first appearance, so it's not fully established the depth and level of that relationship with Reverend Craig, that he was, that he was the father figure, that he was her guardian, and all of that just yet. But yeah, we're right into the of it. Then we jump to Bobby DaCosta, Roberto, number 2, and super important here. Just okay, right here. Right here. Second page of his appearance. They don't hate him because he's a mutant. They hate him because he's black. They don't think he's less than them or subhuman because he's a mutant. They think he's subhuman because he's black. They flat out say it to him. You're black, an animal masquerading as a human being. That is some hardcore racist shit in there for him to be dealing with. And it just makes it so frustrating every time he gets whitewashed by a colorist later on. Now, we do see his early temper, right? We do get the first experience of his powers, and it's something that we're going to see through all of them as we go, right? We're introduced to his rich white girlfriend, his rich black father, right? All of them in Brazil, the football game, and some pink frilly hellfire hands here. Ooh, who could that be? Then we jump to the Pierce Mind, Sam Guthrie. Now again, all of these kids are about 14. Sammy here is 16. His father just died of tuberculosis. No, not TB. What is it? The black lung. From working in a coal mine. And he was the smart one, and he was going to be the first one to get out of there and get to college. But his father died, and now he's got to take care of his 87 brothers and sisters. So he's working in the coal mine too. And there's a cave-in. And the stress of the situation, just like the stress of the racist beating that Sunfire got, and the stress of being chased by her father with a shotgun and a bunch of other angry Catholics that Rain got, is enough to activate their mutant powers. And Cannonball is born. Pink frills. Foreshadowing. Very subtle. Now we get Dani Moonstar. Dani is in nature, but she's by herself. She is the loner. She's got her cat. She's got her space. Grandfather comes up. She's respectful of him, but man, she hates white people. I mean, who doesn't? She can see a vision, right? She assumes it's just her grandfather's fear of getting beaten, but later that night she finds out that it was more of a premonition. Her grandfather knew it was coming. And this D-bag here, Donald Pierce, sent his Reavers to kill her grandfather. There we go. Now, we are getting a pretty good idea of the basic characteristics of these people, right? We're seeing Rain as the scarred, abused one. We're seeing Bobby as, the temper, the one, the oppressed temper one. We're seeing Sam as the, responsible, weight of the world on his shoulders ones. We're seeing Danny as the angry loner seeking vengeance. And then we get Shan. And Shan's a little different because, we're in the early 80s here. We're not too far out of U.S. withdrawal from Vietnam. And Shan, in this story, is claiming that she's a Vietnamese refugee. But she has made her way to Xavier, and they're showing their powers. And already, right, we see that Moira has completely imprinted on Rain because she's the only person who's ever been kind or nice to her her life. And Rain is protective of that. That is her mama now. And just, Moira even voluntarily letting Shan use her powers on her as an example. Rain ain't having none of that. So we're setting up in a good manner. We're starting to see their powers. We learn that Xavier thinks the X-Men are dead, right? And he's scared to have another team. But, Moira's there to comfort him. And, they're figuring it out. They got to go head out and pick up Danny, right? Because Danny's father, who is gone, saved Xavier's life and brought Xavier into the reservation. So her grandfather met Xavier at some point in the past, and he's their okay white dude, which, I mean, come on, of all white dudes, he's going to be the 1 year old, but whatever. So, he's got to go. Grandpa contacted Chuck. Chuck's got to go get Danny. And so they head out. Grandpa's dead now. And Rain attacks them because white people. But after that, then the actual bad guys, the pre-Reaver Reavers, show up. And Rain and Danny realizes, oops, shit, my bad. And Danny and Shan and Rain and Moira and Charles manage to win the day. And, man, that girl is so angry. She's got some stuff to work through. But she goes with them. So now we're 60% of the way there. Chuck sporting this fantastic leisure coat. Need to get me one of those. Right. And they learn from Rando pre-Reaver number 2 here that the Reaver's mission is to go out and get Sam Guthrie in Kentucky and Roberto da Costa in Brazil, in Rio. So they split up. And I thought this was really interesting because Rain and Moira, Rain has imprinted on Moira so much, but Chuck takes Rain and Moira takes the other 2 girls, and they head to Brazil, and the police come in and slap the shit out of Moira, which, man, what was okay in the 80s. But the girls manage to use their powers to kind of take control of the guy and pretend to go along with it and then not go along with it. And then they run and escape, and Moira stays behind to get arrested. And so the girls go and they find Bobby, who... now, the police don't care about Bobby. The police care about Bobby's rich white girlfriend, who was also kidnapped by Hellfire Club goons. And that's who they're looking for. But the girls manage to find them. And they break in, and there's a fight. And they manage to save Bobby, but... this thing that's supposedly a machine gun, Bob McLeod, not his finest work here, goes off, and girl Juliana dies saving Bobby. So now he's single, ready to mingle, angry, sad, but we've got 4 out of our 5 New Mutants. Out in Cameron, Kentucky, Chuck and Rain heading along. Boom. Car gets hit by a cannonball. It's Sammy and some pretty flashy duds that are the same as the Hellfire Goon guys. And honestly, the way this is drawn right here, I can't tell if that's a mask or his fucked up face, but whatever. Sammy's a Hellfire Club goon. Rain does some fancy form switching, jumps the fence, gets in. Right, to find where Charles Xavier is, because Pierce has got him after that accident. Sammy comes in and attacks her, right? Then, just in the nick of time, all our other girls show up, so now we've got, and Bobby. So now we've got Shan and Danny and Bobby and Rain and Moira and Chuck all battling some Hellfire goons and Donald Pierce and Cannonball. Shan gets a hold of a machine gun, which is pretty freaking awesome. We learn that Donald Pierce has become mainly cyborg because Rain gets the jump on him and then is just chewing on some metal and wires and stuff, like most pups do. But they manage to get away. Chuck gets into a mental standoff. Rain manages to turn off the psychic dampening colander on Xavier's head, and he gets into a mental standoff with Pierce and keeps him from shooting at them. And so then they all get to go, and they leave Tessa there to deal with Pierce and the Hellfire Club and all that. And also, like, Birdo's just like, fuck you, white kid. You just tried to fight us. So they leave Sammy there. They all go back and they get their new costumes. And again, like 14-year-old Danny, oh, sexy back. Why? This is a cool picture, though, up here. He's looking at his previous teams. Oh, man, yeah, they're all dead. Screwed that one up. Ooh, yeah, killed them, too. But this time it'll be different. So he puts his X-Men costumes on his new kids, and Danny refuses to wear it Chuck's way and decides to wear it her way. She tells him, I'm an individual. I'll do as you ask, but I'll do it my way. And if that bothers you, I can leave. And Chuck's got to think about it and say, once I would have forced her to conform, and I would have been wrong to do so. This might be as much growth as Xavier ever gets in the X-Men comics. But good for Danny. Danny's the good, strong girl. And then Sammy shows up! And now he's going to be part of the team, and Bobby's mad. But Rain tells him to shut up. And so he does, because he listens to the girls, as he should. And now we've got a New Mutants team. And that is the New Mutants graphic novel. That's it. That's the end. That is the first appearance. Our 05 New Mutants. And, I mean, just some really cool things when you think about it. The New Mutants have always pretty much been more female-based, right? But we went from an 05 team, you know, with Jean Grey as the token woman, to an all-new team with Storm as the token woman, / token black. And now we've got a new team, 5 mutants. One of them's a white boy. None of the rest are. None of the rest. 3 females to 2 males, right? We've got black Brazilian, explicitly black. I'm going to say black again. It doesn't matter how you color him, and you shouldn't be coloring him any other way because they said it right here in his first appearance. He is not white. He is not passing. But we got DaCosta. We've got a Native American who doesn't, you know, get killed early on, and she's got issues, and Rain's got, they all got issues, man. There's some messed up teenagers, and this is a really great start to an X-Men book by Claremont here. And one that you kind of need to have before you start going into New Mutants. You know, New Mutants 1 assumes you read this when it takes off. So, that is our recap. Now, if you've been on the website recently, you've seen that we started adding gallery features at asleepatthewheel.com. So, if you haven't been on the website recently, go to asleepatthewheel.com, ASLEEPATTHEWEIL, just like in the video title here, asleepatthewheel.com. Check out, we got a new X Factor Volume 1 gallery, features all 149 colors with blurbable, spoilerish recaps, all on one easy-to-load page. The next one I've already begun working on is New Mutants, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to start off with Marvel Graphic Novel number 4 and the first appearance of the New Mutants, because we need this before we can do that. So, this is your recap of the New Mutants 0. And coming soon will be the full gallery with all the spoilerish, blurby recaps of New Mutants Volume 1 numbers 1 through 100. So come back and check those out. And wake up! You're asleep at the wheel.